this is Dr. Karishma Ahuja. There could be times questions about life, God, universe come to your mind. At such times, what do? Do you just allow these questions to stay in your mind? Or do you try to self-reflect and even ask the universe and God to give you signs for you to be able to find answers to these questions? People in olden days used to ensure that if they have a question running in their mind, they would try and seek answers through other people, learned men, noble men, spiritual masters and teachers. One such person was a king who wanted answers to 3 questions that he had been contemplating on for a long time. One day, this king raised these questions in his court hall. The questions were, where is God? In what direction does he cast his look? What does God do? None could answer these questions, even though there were many intelligent ministers, learned men who were in his court hall. The king then decided to summon with due honor a very well-known, respected sage to his court. He asked the sage to answer these questions, for he had heard a lot about this sage. The king was expecting the sage to help him find these answers, to give him the clarity he needs, and to be able to satisfy his heart. The sage replied, like butter in the milk, my dear king, God is everywhere. Now to answer your second question that you have raised, get me a lamp. The sage was brought a lamp. He lit the lamp and then asked the king, O king, in which direction does this lamp shed its light? The king replied, Master, the lamp sheds its light in all the directions. The sage then said, King, likewise, God is effulgence itself, and his vision is not directed to a particular place or even a person. He casts his look on everything, everywhere, at all times. He is all-seeing. The king then asked, O sage, then also do tell me, what does God really do? The sage smilingly said, since I am in a way instructing you and teaching you about spiritual matters, I am in the position of a teacher, isn't it? And you are a disciple. So, we have to exchange our places. Are you prepared for this? The king agreed. He was very keen to receive an answer to his question. So, he came down from his elevated position, his throne, and sat on the seat in which the sage was sitting. The sage then said, with a twinkle in his eyes, O king, this is exactly what God does. He brings down the mighty and elevates the humble. He can make the poor rich. He can make the rich poor. O king, God can do anything. He is not bound by time and space. He has no limitations. He is all-pervading. He is all-knowing. He is all-seeing. He is omnipotent. The king was very pleased with these answers. He expressed his deep gratitude to the sage and honored him in a fitting manner. Like the king in the story, dear friends, each one of us also should try to understand the characteristics of God. Let us remember and remind ourselves, God is omnipresent. He is omniscient. He is omnipotent. God is everywhere. He is all-knowing, and He is the most powerful. He has unlimited power, and thus we should ensure we spend our day thinking about God and the divine, reminding ourselves we are not alone in this journey of life. We have come here to connect with the divine within us, to become more and more like God. And so every day, let us from today make an effort to become more and more like God. Always ask yourself one question: what would God have me see? What would God have me hear? What would God have me speak? And most importantly, what would God have me do? If we keep these 4 things in mind, our speech, our vision, our heart, our actions will automatically be pure. What do we gain out of this purity? Out of this purity, we gain strength. We gain power to make things happen for us in our lives. Then we will no longer be victims of other people's actions, victims of circumstances or situations. Instead, we will come from power, from joy, and most importantly, from love. So from today, let's commit to thinking about God, thinking about what would please Him, and then take appropriate action. In this manner, we will always be out of stress. If we dedicate actions to God, then we will never ever come from a sense of ego, because we will realize God is the doer. In the same manner, we will also not come from guilt, because after all, God is the doer. Sometimes He wills that we make mistakes because He has a bigger plan for us. He has something bigger in mind for us. And so, in happiness, in sorrow, we will be able to maintain the most important state even as per our Vedic traditions. That is the state of equanimity. Being calm no matter what is happening around us. This ability to stay calm even in crisis will give us so much power. We will not only become more God-like, we will experience oneness with everyone and everything in the universe. And that, my dear friends, will always keep us protected from harm. I hope you enjoyed this video message. Like and share this video with others so that all of us benefit from its message. Subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to click the bell icon to stay updated with all the latest videos, messages, tips, tools and techniques. This is Dr. Karishma Ahuja wishing you all the very best. Namaste. God bless.